Hello, this is Forum 360, where we have a global outlook from a local view. And I am your host, Ashira Nelson. My guest today once quoted, "My sole purpose is to educate and elevate any and everyone I have the privilege of meeting." That's when I knew I had to have him as a guest on Forum 360 to learn more about the impact he's making in the community. Mastering personal finance is one of the surest ways to achieve financial freedom. The tools needed to flourish as an adult aren't always provided in grade school, secondary school, and not even in college. This pattern of misinformation will continue the cycle in our community, but up until now, we have Jason Lockett starting his company, the Breadwinners, a multifaceted resource group aiding in financial development of those within our community. Hello, Jason.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, no problem. I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
I've always been a fan of the show, so yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. That means a lot. I am so excited to have this conversation, learn more about what you're doing in the community, because I'm so intrigued. I love this work. I have my own personal passion. So I love to see other people that look like me in this field, and my opportunity to expand your audience, your reach, and whatever I can do. I'm just so excited to help out.
Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here.
Okay, so let's jump right in. So tell me a little bit about your personal background.
So I am born and raised here in Cleveland.
Okay.
Well, I'm Jason Lockett Sr. I'm born and raised here in Cleveland. Grew up in the Lee and Harvard area, so that's where I call home. Proud CMSD alum, very proud with John F. Kennedy. Super excited about that. I wear it like a badge.
Hey, we have to be proud of where we came from.
Absolutely.
And shaped us into who we are today. So
100%, 100%. My journey is pretty interesting.
Okay.
Of course, undergrad, I went to Notre Dame College, and I majored in marketing. I thought marketing was like my thing in life.
Interesting.
It's still my first love, though.
Okay.
And I still get to apply it in all the facets that I do.
Yes.
But it's just not primary. As a soon-to-be CFP, I'm just waiting to complete my hours.
Okay.
I should have went a different route, but I was too far down that path to turn around. So I passed the exam, did the coursework, passed the exam.
Very nice. Congratulations. I know all the required hours and studying that goes into that. So
it was a commitment.
Oh yeah.
A big commitment, and thanks to my wife for being very, very, very understanding during that time.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm from Cleveland. I got my undergrad in marketing from Notre Dame College. I got my master's in finance from Ashland.
Oh, okay.
And I got my certificate in financial planning from Howard. That was
nice.
the last trip into school, and I think I'm done. I said it before, but I don't know.
You don't sound too convinced.
No, there's something else that's out there that I'm looking at, but I don't know. I'm learning it through experience now in the nonprofit space, so I don't know how that all plays out, but I'll figure that out one day.
Very nice. I'm sure you will. So what inspired you to start Breadwinners?
So starting the academy, it's a crazy story. One of my good friends, Dr. Carmen Daniel, she invited me to come and speak to her students at Cleveland Heights. This was pre-COVID. And no, this was post-COVID, and she wanted me to come in and speak to them about credit. And the first thing across my mind is no way. Like I am not going in. I'm not going in that school.
So do you think she asked you to come speak because of your background? What kind of connected that? What made her reach out to you?
Yes, because of my background.
Okay.
And finance is like my newfound love. Well, for about 10 years now, but it's still new to me and it's still fresh. Well, personal finance is.
Yeah, and, it's a huge difference.
In college they teach you finance, but it's mainly business finance, but not personal.
Right.
So personal finance has always been a passion of mine, and just helping people that help me, especially from our communities.
Yes.
So she knew me from, she knew me from her brother, and I'm married to her brother's sister.
Oh, small world. Okay.
Very small world. So we all move in those areas. But I truly feel that it was more of a calling from God versus me just discovering it on a whim or that happening. I feel like everything happened for a reason.
I can agree with that.
And everything from graduating college, not understanding money, messing up my money, messing up my credit, trying to figure life out.
We'll have to get into that a little later.
I'm engaged. It's that whole process. And coming to where I am now, I can't put this on anyone but the man above.
Nice, nice. So what do you envision for the academy?
Big picture? I have big dreams.
Big picture, yes.
Big dreams.
Let's talk big picture.
So I would love for our curriculum to be in every school within the low to moderate income community across America.
Okay.
That's what we're shooting for. It's very important to me because there's so many of us that's back there that may not have the same opportunities or may not have the same home, because we all go home to something different.
Oh yeah.
So you think about all these students that's courageous, that has all these bright ideas, but they never come into fruition because they don't have the resources or help. So I can't just sit back and be thankful for my life, you know, live my life out in the burbs or whatever, and then, you know, say, forget everybody else is back there. I can't live life like that. So that's a part of the process as well.
Okay. So can you describe some of the services and resources that you offer to the community?
Absolutely. So we're primarily in schools. So we are in middle schools, high schools, colleges.
Oh.
And we do also workshops, free workshops within the communities. So we partner with like the Harvard Resource Center and Seeds of Literacy and other nonprofits where we'll just come in and do some free workshops.
Okay, so what is included within those workshops? Tell us a little more detail.
Yeah, so we touch every pillar of financial literacy, from saving and budgeting, credit, short, long-term investing, taxes, insurance. We bring in our board as well, because we got some pretty good people on our board that'll come in and volunteer their times and give us that in-kind support as well. So we touch everything with financial literacy, but when we're in schools, it's super hands-on. We don't use PowerPoints. I hate PowerPoints. Okay. So we omit those. Shouts out to Microsoft. We love Microsoft, but we don't use them in schools. We feel that oftentimes it becomes a crutch. So
I see that.
For us and our instructors, we're super hands-on. So we plan out our entire curriculum. If it's 40 minutes, 45 minutes, and our lesson plans within that, it's super hands-on. We want our young adults to engage. It's easier in certain schools where they can't have their cell phones. Yeah. But for the schools that do have their cell phones, that's where the real challenge comes into play. But it makes us sharp, and it forces us to be creative.
So what's included? Okay, because I'm so used to teaching through PowerPoint. So what's another, like, what does that look like then? Is that like worksheets, bringing in like fake money and having them like do different activities? So what's the gist or the foundation of the different activities?
Oh, absolutely. So we use prop money as well.
Okay.
We use prop money. It looks so real.
Yeah.
It looks very real. So we use that for...
I can only see the young minds when they get that money in their hands, because I have been in schools before, and their creativity, gosh.
They do the money phones and all that stuff, the money fanning themselves.
I'm envisioning it all.
But that's great, though, just to see that side of them come out.
Yeah, that's encouragement. Like, yeah. So.
And it's our culture, too.
Oh, yeah.
So,
we can't get away from our culture. No, our culture is us. So.
The good and the bad.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay.
So we use that, and also we do have visuals as well. So we'll use online platforms like Quizlet and Kahoot, and we use them as well for the students to engage.
Very nice.
We'll use not a Google slide, but we do create some prezos through Canva, but that's only if we're,
Canva,
it's so much better. It's nice. It's nice.
Yes.
And it's user friendly too.
Absolutely.
And we use that for large groups. If we have like more than 30 students, then we'll use that as an aid. But I really force the notion of us, being active, being engaged. But it's exhausting at times.
So how do you go about building your team of instructors, or do you call them instructors?
Yes.
Okay.
So no, we call they're program leaders.
Okay.
And we have college students.
Oh. So tell me about that. How did you come up with that?
I was thinking about I want everyone to be relatable. And because if you're relatable, then you can build rapport, then you can engage.
Yes, you can connect so much better.
So we use college students, and so I'll call up career services at these schools and try to build a relationship with them.
Yeah.
And then I'll send them over our job description and things of that nature, and then we'll go through the interviewing process and we'll bring the team along.
Okay, so is it an internship for the college student?
Yes.
Or okay.
It's
Very
an internship
nice.
turned into like a part-time job over the summer as well.
Very, very nice. I love that. That was very, very innovative.
Yeah.
Yes. Way to use our young minds or empower our young minds within the schools, but also create such a dynamic culture of bringing in these college students. That was very smart. I love that idea.
Thank you. They have that energy too.
They do.
They got
that
to match
energy
those
that
kids.
as we get older, we lose.
We do.
They have that certain level of energy, and yeah, I really like that. So how did your own experience shape the focus and goals of the organization?
Through pain.
Okay, so tell me about that. Tell me about that pain.
Through pain, and I'll be brutally honest with you. When I graduated college, I had horrible credit, and the reason I had bad credit is because I developed asthma, and at a really late age, which is strange.
Yeah.
So I developed asthma, and I was running track at the time. So
Okay.
you know those two don't mix. So I kept going back and forth to the ER, and all these hospital bills just start racking up, and I'm going through this process of trying to find a home. I'm engaged, I'm the man of the house, so you know I'm feeling like it's my responsibility.
Oh yes.
I got my first job, so I'm looking at my father and say, yeah, that's the path.
Yeah.
And it was so unfortunate because we couldn't rent a home because I had horrible credit.
Oh, okay.
And it was the point where my the home that we actually did rent, we were sitting in this kitchen, and it was my fiance at the time and my oldest son. And the guy was in there, and he says, Taria, I'll rent to you, but Jason, I won't rent to you. And
as if it could be a separation? Like what?
yeah, it was weird, but
Okay.
it was hurtful.
Oh.
It was hurtful, and then we ended up finding a place, and it's still that was the biggest motivation I
Yes.
needed. So I went through that entire process of learning the Fair Credit Reporting Act from front to back.
Oh.
I started working with myself, fixing my own credit, learning how to budget, and then once you go down that path, then you're gone.
Oh yes.
You're finished.
Rabbit hole for days, months, years.
Years.
Man.
And you become
Tell
so
me about
intrigued
it.
about it.
Oh yeah.
Man. So over
It's
those.
like I can learn more and more. Okay. Yes. Oh.
So
Now
over,
you're talking my nerd language.
yeah. So over the course of the years, I started learning all about finance.
Okay.
And I became so intrigued with it. And seeing how that impacted my life, I said, oh, I got to start helping other people and helping other people. And then, you know, all the friends and family, especially people we grew up with, they were all in the same boat.
Very nice.
So that started the path of me going down into finance.
Yeah, and credit repair is such a popular topic. Like, even when I talk to people in the community, that's one topic you for sure know that if somebody know you teach finance or you have some type of financial background, they're going to ask a question about it. Like, everybody want to know, now, how can I repair my credit? How can I get a higher credit score? So, okay. But I am your host, Ashira Nelson, and this is PBS Forum 360, where we have a global outlook from a local view. My guest today is Jason from Breadwinners Academy, here to share how he is impacting the community through financial education. So, what role does education play in like your approach in financial development? So, as you're in a classroom, how important is financial literacy to like being in a classroom or like with these students?
It's extremely important because money touches everything. Regardless of your industry, you can be in nursing, you can be in finance, you can be in education.
Yes.
Whatever you go to school for, engineering, it doesn't matter. If you can't manage your money, you'll never feel as successful or complete as you should. So we all go to college, of course, to be liberal, okay? And those 120 credit hours, you know, we all go to school, but we all go to school knowing that we want to set ourselves up for the future.
Right.
Financially.
Right.
And it still blows my mind that a lot of schools don't incorporate personal finance in their curriculum for college. It should be a requirement.
I agree.
But that's a conversation. That's another conversation. So education is super important, and financial education should be at the core for every school. And it's something you shouldn't just check a box and do. this is something that should be taught with care because
Very nice.
everyone needs it.
So is your goal to have this as a actual class that students pick, or like as an elective? Okay. Within
Yes.
schools? Okay.
So in every school that we actually teach in, it is an elective. So they earn that 0.5 credit to graduate because
Nice.
it's a requirement now. So we do that in schools.
Oh, let's talk about that. So in Ohio now, it is a requirement, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So since, like, when did that go into play?
I think post-COVID.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
maybe 2 years ago. Or no, it was last year was the first year. So if you were an incoming freshman, you had to take it to graduate.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah, very close. Very close. I was staying up on it, and then, but once you're not reading about it, seeing it every day, not in the classroom, you kind of forget the key gems of it. Okay, so the students, so within the classrooms, they are having the elective. So are you teaching, is it like a half semester, and then the next semester you get a new group of students? How is that within the different schools?
Yes, it's quarterly.
Okay.
So we teach it quarterly. Our classrooms are roughly anywhere between 20 and 30 students.
Okay.
It's a big class. We have 2 instructors or 2 of our program leaders in each classroom because the content that we're rolling out, it's super hands-on. So
Yeah.
for them to keep up, we need shorter groups or smaller groups of people. So if we have another instructor in there, then we can get things done a lot smoother.
Okay, so what schools are you in within the Ohio area?
Oh, we're in total of 15.
Very nice.
And
okay.
I always get this mixed up when when I say them, but we're in CMSD, we're in Cleveland Heights, we're in Warrensville, we're in Garfield, we're in Shaw, we're in a couple schools in Akron, we're in one school in Columbus, and we have a host of schools in CMSD.
Wow, very nice. So can you share a success story from someone who has benefited from Breadwinners programs?
Absolutely. So the biggest success story I have, we are now up to 11 students that purchased their first car with us.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
and
exciting.
these are high school students. Took your course. Now they feel the confidence to purchase a car.
Yes.
Which is such a big adult thing to do. Like
it is. It is. Most of them came through our summer program last year.
Okay.
So they were able to earn some income last year, have their other job. But most importantly, you know that money comes in is important, but what you do with it is where the rubber meets the road.
Yes.
That's where the rubber meets the road. So I'm super happy. We stay very close to them while we're going through that process because we know temptation is real.
Oh, yeah.
Especially at that age, it's very real.
Yes.
So we stay there.
Everything is shiny and nice.
Everything you don't have is until you get it.
So how do you engage with communities to raise awareness outside of schools, or do you have any like different community partnerships?
We're still working on that. So with community partnerships, we partner with YOU for our summer internship.
Okay.
We also partner with other nonprofits like Boys Hope, Girls Hope, Boys and Girls Club, and others like Step Forward and all those organizations, just so we can get into more communities and really get access to those people. Because when you're new, they don't know who you are, and then if you're coming in talking about finance in this world of scamming, they're going to say, no thank you, but having partners like that is pretty good.
What are some common misconceptions people have about personal finance that you aim to correct?
That you can have balance.
Okay, tell me more about that.
Like balance, because we know you have like, well, the great analogy is like Rich Dad Poor Dad, and then it's Dave Ramsey. And it's like you got to be one or the other. In reality, you don't. But it's okay if you're one, or it's okay that you're the other, because everyone's relationship with money is different. Everyone's goals are different. So all of these things makes us who we are, and it's great because we see that come out of our students and some out of the adults that we work with. So balance is huge. Of course, we need to be fiscally responsible, but you can still live the life that you want. Now, you may not be able to go to the Maldives, but Bahamas is cool.
Okay,
like,
right.
That's cool.
Right, I'll take it.
LA is cool. Like Vegas, I think we've overdone Vegas, but I'll still go.
Yeah.
I'll drop to Columbus. I love Columbus.
I love
that's
Columbus
the hidden
is
gem.
always a weekend trip for me in the summer.
That's the hidden gem. The hidden gem in the Midwest is Columbus.
Absolutely.
2 hours, boom, boom, we're good.
Yep.
So
have a great time, eat good, and
food
affordable.
Is crazy. It is so good, the food.
So can you talk about any partnerships or collaborations that you have currently going on?
Yes. So the biggest collaboration that we're entering into will be with John Carroll University.
Okay.
And this summer, our summer internship with John Carroll, we're taking 25 students from...
Of their students?
These are CMSD and first ring suburb kids.
Nice,
So
okay.
we got some students from Maple, Garfield, Bedford, John Hay, John Adams, John F. Kennedy, Bard. We got a good mix of students.
Okay.
And they're going to be with us this summer for 6 weeks, learning all about finance. It's going to be very hands-on.
Wow. So during the summer, what's the time frame for like a typical day of the program?
10 to 2.
10 to 2. Very nice.
We're going to provide transportation. We're providing lunch. I think we're doing too much, but these kids got it made.
Yes.
They got it made. But no, to seeing the smiles on their faces throughout this whole process, it's pretty amazing. So they're going to be with us for 6 weeks, and at the very end, they're going to have a financial plan that they're building on their own, and it's going to be for the next stage of their life. So
very nice.
You're going to college, you're going to trade school, you're going to the military, you're going to do something.
They're going to have a plan.
You're not going to be a bum. That's what I tell them all. And they always laugh when I say that. When I say, well, do you know any? They say yes. I'm like, well.
Right. Hey, again, you have to be relatable. Speak their language. They know someone in that situation. So, and they know they don't want that for their lives. So very nice that you're being relatable and being real, because a lot of people are not real, and that's what they need.
Thank you. Yeah, it's very true.
So how do you measure the impact and success of your programs?
That's always tough. It's always tough because you got to meet everyone where they are.
Yeah.
But in schools, it's all about outcomes, measurable outcomes. For grants, it's all about measurable outcomes. So we measure it in so many different ways. We do assessments pre and post.
Oh, very nice.
During our program. Of course, we all have final exams. So we measure them by their grades. So our students, we also play a lot of games in the midst of it. But our students must learn how to write a check. They must learn how to file their 1040 easy taxes.
Wow.
We go through all of this stuff. They have
CPA and me is loving this.
they have to create their own budgeting plan while we're in school, especially for like their summer income, because while you pays very well. So they got to create their own budgeting plan. They have to submit it. They got to learn how to write checks. So during our final exam, it's a combination of everything we've learned. We give them a study guide. We go over the study guide with them. And then after they take their final, we play our final game. And our final game is Family Feud, but with financial literacy questions.
This absolutely should be in every school.
So
every school.
We split the groups up in two, and they play for real money.
Wow.
Depending on the size of the group, it ranges from like $500 to $1,000. And
that would give me focus.
Those students are
me ready
locked
to learn.
in. And we invite like our board and our community partners to come in and see what they've learned. And it always blows my mind how much information they retain. When you give them a little incentive, you see what happens. But they have some extra cash end of semester. So the fun part is when it's around like spring break. So now they got some money and then they're on break. And now, it's a win-win for everybody.
So how do you stay focused and passionate about your work and financial development?
It's tough. It's tough, but I look at life totally different since the academy started. I have so much purpose, so much. It's just different. The air is different. The sun is different. Everything is different for me. Nice. So for me to stay focused, it's tough because I had to force myself to become a morning person.
Oh yeah.
So
you're in these schools.
Yes.
Work with the young mind.
So now I'm up at about 4:45, and the house is quiet. So I can work for a good 2 hours before anyone is up.
Wow.
And for me, that's great because my mind is fresh. I'm not distracted because, as you know, it's like in school, once that bell rings, it's chaos until you come home.
Absolutely. So how has the landscape of financial literacy and education changed since you started your organization?
I don't know if it's changed, but I know with the power of social media and everything that's out there, it's a gift and a curse.
Okay.
Because I don't think everyone should be giving financial advice. But I also love the importance of it, but I just don't think everyone should be doing it. But you can't stop.
I wish I could personally message them and tell them, stop it.
Like hey, bro, chill out.
Stop giving tax advice. Stop doing it. Like, you're driving me crazy.
But you know what? I will say this. In the finance space, one of the things that's becoming super, like more and more prevalent is scamming.
Oh, yeah.
And it's been around forever.
Yeah, but just...
This generation, that's what they want to do. And they take pride in it, which is strange.
It's hard. It's definitely heartbreaking. Yes. Yes. And I'm not sure where we got lost in the connection with the youth and actually wanting to scam. Yeah. So
it's heartbreaking.
It is.
But
I can agree.
We have those conversations. That's built into our curriculum as well. It's how to not get scammed.
Yeah.
Because
I'm so happy that you're having a conversation. Again, the realness and like your messaging and your education is definitely needed. I
don't want to see these kids in jumpsuits.
Right.
No, we don't want that. But they see fast money, they see the allure, which brings them in, and it's sad.
Yeah. But I am your host, Ashira Nelson, and this is PBS Forum 360, where we have a global outlook from a local view. Our guest today, Jason, talked about so many real topics, much needed topics, and shared his vision for Breadwinners Academy. Thank you, Jason, for being our guest, and I'll see you guys again very soon.
Forum 360 is brought to you by John S. and James L. Knight Foundation, the Akron Community Foundation, Hudson Community Television, the Rubber City Radio Group, Shaw Jewish Community Center of Akron, Blue Green, Electric Impulse Communications, and Forum 360 supporters.